going to be a sleepless night for our town staff, our first responders, and, many, if not all, of our residents in San Anselmo.
Now that storm is headed for Southern California. So far, more than 150,000 power outages because of it. There was a candlelight vigil held last night in Hollywood for cinematographer Helena Hutchins, who was shot and killed on set in New Mexico. Actor Alec Baldwin, who was holding the gun at the time, was seen earlier in the day hugging Hutchins' husband and 9-year-old son. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has more on the investigation into what happened.
According to police statements from crew members, the crew was preparing to film a scene inside a church. Baldwin was sitting in a pew, practicing cross-drawing his weapon and pointing the revolver towards the camera lens when the gun went off. And the shooting was not caught on video because the crew was not yet filming.
President Biden spending part of his weekend with 2 senators who will be key in getting the president's infrastructure bills passed, Democrats Chuck Schumer and Joe Manchin. Here's ABC's Rachel Scott.
And you have Manchin. Well, he's opposed to a lot of the climate change provisions that are really the centerpiece of the president's agenda. And he's opposed to tuition-free community college. And so now the president getting Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Manchin in the same room in Delaware this weekend. It is a sign that this is urgent, that he wants his party to pass this before he leaves.
In downtown Brooklyn last night, protests in support of Nets guard Kyrie Irving's stance against getting the COVID vaccine.
He's doing something that Kaepernick did. He's basically doing the same thing he's like taking a knee, and I'm happy that he did that.
The NBA says it wasn't his decision. New York City is the one with a vaccine mandate. You're listening to ABC News.
Ad paid for by Complete Car Care.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to the COVID crisis, we are announcing a low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay nothing for auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay nothing for auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-549-1985 now. Drivers who are covered by this auto protection will not have to pay for a covered repair bill again. This auto coverage is at an all-time low, much lower than what dealerships are charging. Additionally, drivers who activate this auto coverage today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and free rental car at no additional cost. Call for your free quick quote today. 800-549-1985. 800-549-1985. What do you have to lose? Again, 800-549-1985.
New criticisms over the way Liberty University has handled allegations of sexual assault. ABC's Chuck Sievertson.
Former Liberty University students and workers claim that when they reported alleged sexual assaults to school officials, the cases were slow-walked and buried. They tell ProPublica the school threatened to punish them for violating its code of conduct, which bans drinking alcohol and being undressed in front of a member of the opposite sex. Some alleged victims say they were punished. A former employee says he was fired for raising concerns on how sexual assault allegations were handled. No comment from Liberty.
The post office is promising changes to help handle the holiday shopping and shipping season.
The Postal Service is now increasing capacity to help make sure holiday packages arrive on time. It's adding 45 new facilities, 112 new sorting machines, and 40,000 seasonal workers, all to handle 35% more daily packages.
ABC's Megan Tervrisian. Mass transit workers in Philadelphia taking a strike authorization vote. Their contract expires at the end of the month. Workers at an Amazon facility in New York City on Staten Island moving closer to a unionization vote. Organizers could deliver hundreds of signatures needed for authorizing to hold a vote to federal officials as soon as today. And Tesla is pulling the latest version of its self-driving software. Just hours after rolling it out, some drivers complained about several issues, including false crash warnings. This is ABC News.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Navage, Navage.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
The reasons more and more people are coming to NC Tractor to do business are the selection of Massey Ferguson tractors, Bobcat zero-turn mowers, fantastic customer service, and the special Phil Sheehan seasonal discounts. NC Tractor on Railroad Avenue in Rutherford is making dreams come true for folks who want the best.
We're tracking a strong cold front that will move into the region. It's going to bring us the potential for some strong to severe thunderstorms, as we do have a level 2 threat for severe weather activity in place for parts of the viewing area. Highs today will head into the upper 70s and lower 80s. A few isolated showers and thunderstorms possible around lunchtime. This evening, a line of stronger storms will likely move through. Damaging wind speeds will be the main threat. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
It's going to be one of those iffy days. We may get some rain, may get some thunderstorms after a while, may get some sun, may get some wind. All of that's probably going to happen today with our expected high today getting up to around 76 with a 60% chance of those isolated thunderstorms. Then tonight it's going to taper off, wind gusting to 17 miles per hour. Sunny skies again tomorrow and Thursday, and the rain, maybe chances coming back in here on Thursday and Thursday night with slight shower expectations. Right now it's a week of some rain and some sun, so rain probably is much needed. It's dry as it's been. So we'll wait and see what all that happens. We'll keep you posted on the weather across the fruited plain this morning. 6 minutes after 7 o'clock, and I have these death announcements this morning. Jimmy Hauser, 84, of Golden Valley, died Sunday, October 24th. Those arrangements are incomplete at this time and will be announced by Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service for Jimmy Hauser of Golden Valley. Tim Chapman, 41, of Bostic, died Sunday, October 24th. Those arrangements also incomplete and will be announced by Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service for Tim Chapman of Bostic. Linda Sue Willis, age 69, of Mooresboro, died Friday, October 22nd at the Hospice of the Carolina Foothills. The funeral service will be conducted at 2 o'clock today at Calvary Baptist Church, with Reverend Tim Freshour and Reverend Scott Butler officiating. Burial will follow in the church cemetery. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services, serving the family of Linda Sue Willis of Mooresboro. Mary Pat Thrift, age 71, of Rutherford, died October the 18th at her home. Services are to be held at a later date, and McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Services in charge of those arrangements for Mary Pat Thrift. Diane Florimo, age 91, of Bostic, passed away Thursday, October the 21st at White Oak Manor in Kings Mountain. A memorial service for Diane will be held at a later date in New York. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services entrusted with the local arrangements for Diane Florimo. Rebecca Lynn Owens, age 65, of Elm Street, passed away Wednesday, October 20th, while being cared for at Rutherford Regional Medical Center. Services will be announced at a later date for Rebecca Lynn Owens, who died on Wednesday, October the 20th. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. For the complete information of these and others as they become available to us, can be heard this morning at 11:35 and then again this afternoon at 5:30 as part of the afternoon, 5:10 as part of the afternoon caller and report here on WCAB in Rutherford. Well, we still have baseball, folks. The Braves are going into the National World Series. They beat the Dodgers on Saturday 4-2. Now they proceed, and the next game looks like tomorrow afternoon or evening with the 6:50 airtime, 8:09 first pitch, Braves against the Houston Astros in the World Series, and we'll certainly have those games for you. I thought there for a while we would not be able to do the World Series, but it looks like we are going to be able to do that for you. So be sure to stay tuned right here when you're out about traveling around and want to hear the game. Be sure to stay tuned to 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB in Rutherford. And tonight, Monday night, we have a Monday night football game. Also, a game that was scheduled for Friday night, postponed. But we do have a game tonight. Thomas Jefferson is playing at home against Highland Tech, and it is homecoming at Thomas Jefferson. So be sure to join us for that football action tonight and baseball action tomorrow. It's still great, isn't it? Bill O'Reilly, Morning Update, coming up next.
Bill O'Reilly here, and I'm warming up from the NRIA.net studios in New York. Stand by for the O'Reilly Update Morning Edition. Car repairs often feel like a lose-lose situation. The expensive payments and paperwork feel never-ending. But ever since I called Car Shield, that all gets handled for me. That's a win-win. I just select my favorite mechanic, and Car Shield's administrators do the rest. So get coverage today, and you'll see why Car Shield cars go farther. Please visit carshield.com/bill to save 10%. A deductible may apply. On this Monday, it will not be a good Christmas for President Biden, I predict, for one simple reason. His policies are hurting the folks, everyday Americans who work hard. That is undeniable. Inflation up more than 5%. You're paying more for everything you need. Gasoline, food, clothing, electronics, you name it, it's more expensive. There is even, as I have reported, a shortage of turkeys for Thanksgiving. If you have to heat your home this winter, you are going to pay double than what you paid last year at this time. And open borders, drugs coming across, it just never ends. So all of this is going to congeal, word of the day, congeal into one mass anti-Biden movement. So his polling numbers are coming down fast now. But wait till you see when people can't get what they want for Christmas. It is going to be visible anger in the streets of the USA. Meantime, Joe Biden has no solutions to any of these problems. Again, I'm not even going to say Merry Christmas to the president. Now this. Investors, Bill O'Reilly here. Are you sitting on capital or wanting to diversify? The NRIA Real Estate Development Fund provides returns right now. They capitalize on strategic markets. They offer payouts of 10% annualized returns plus bonuses up to 21%. Start your due diligence at nria.net or call 800-800-1414. That's easy. 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at nria.net.
That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
This is 100.9 FM
and the mighty 590.
The best of both worlds. Rutherford.
Good morning. Good morning.
Have you written a book? You can become a published author with Dorrance Publishing, the nation's oldest publishing services company. Countless authors have trusted Dorrance for nearly 100 years to bring their book to the market. Our professional team will edit your text, design your book pages, and create an appealing, eye-catching custom cover. Plus, our authors benefit from a custom book promotion marketing campaign that makes your book available where people buy books, like Amazon and brick-and-mortar bookstores. So make this free call right now to claim your free author's guide to publishing. Don't wait another day. Take one step closer to realizing your dream of becoming a published author and seeing your name in print. You've already written a book, so the next thing to do is make this free call right now to Dorrance Publishing and get your free guide to publishing. Call right now.
800-482-8399. 800-482-8399. That's 800-482-8399.
When Taylor County in Texas was organized in 1878, the town of Buffalo Gap was the county seat. The people of Buffalo Gap were excited when in 1880 news came that the Texas and Pacific Railroad was on its way to their town. The citizens felt they and the town had a bright future. Now the railway's track and town site locator was an H.C. Withers. Mr. Withers was a nice, easygoing individual, and all indications were that he was going to have the track running alongside the town of Buffalo Gap. That is until several ranchers and businessmen had a business lunch with Mr. Withers. During the lunch, these businessmen were able to convince Mr. Withers that quite possibly there was a better route for the railroad, a route that unfortunately bypassed the town of Buffalo Gap and instead went along the northern part of the county between Cedar and Big Elm Creeks, just east of Catclaw Creek. Incidentally, that area just happened to be owned by the ranchers and businessmen that had been meeting with Mr. Withers. It seems that Mr. Withers not only decided to run the railroad along the new route, he also came up with the name of a new town that would be established, Abilene, after the Kansas cattle town. By 1890, Abilene, Texas had a population of over 3,000 people. Today, it has over 115,000 residents. I checked the Texas map for the town of Buffalo Gap. It wasn't there. I guess you just can't take things for granted. You've just heard another story from Old West Radio. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Jesse James has added 2 new sandwiches to his already delightful menu, along with the fresh-cooked burgers, sandwiches, fresh salads, hot dogs made to order. Now try the all-new crispy chicken sandwich with lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise, or the crispy deluxe with lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, bacon, and cheese. Both come with sides. Enjoy a refreshing milkshake or a hand-dipped ice cream cone. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 to 4, closed Wednesday and Sunday. Jesse James Railroad Express, 531 Railroad Avenue in Rutherford, or call 828-447-4644. And Mondays only, hot dogs with mustard, chili, and onions, only $1.24 each. All aboard the Jesse James Railroad Express.
All right, 17 minutes after 7 now. It's time to go to the phone to find out what's been happening over the weekend. Had a long weekend. Now let's get busy about this week and find out what went on over the weekend. And Deputy Brandel is on the phone with me from the Sheriff's Office to give us that report. Good morning. How you doing today?
Good morning, sir. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing very well. Tell us what's been going on over there.
Past 48 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has answered 348 calls, processed 19 arrests at the county jail, and currently have 183 incarcerated. Under our arrest reports, we have a Nasher Nicole Kelly, 25-year-old black male of Far City, charged with DWI, given a written promise to appear. We have a Richard Cody Allen, 30-year-old white male, Far City, was charged with 8 counts of failure to appear on misdemeanor, given a $10,000 secured bond. We have a Gregory Chad Hudson, 36-year-old white male of Ballstick, was charged with 2 counts of failure to appear on a misdemeanor, given a $10,000 secured bond. We have a Caitlin Page Smith, 29-year-old white female of Mooresboro, was charged with 1 count of failure to appear on a felony, given a $10,000 secured bond. We have a Nicole Brooke Buckner, 31-year-old white female of Rutherford, was charged with 1 count of failure to appear on a misdemeanor, given a $500 secured bond. We have a Christopher McKinney, 30-year-old black male of Rutherford, was charged with 1 count of assault on female, given no bond on that. We have a Marcus Tweedy, 27-year-old black male of Union Mills, was charged with 1 count of communicating threats and 1 count of injury to personal property, given a no bond on that. We have a Thomas Hartley, 54-year-old white male of Rutherford, was charged with 1 count of misdemeanor B&E, was given a $1,000 unsecured bond. We have a Seth Brandon Green, 20-year-old white male of Ellenboro, was charged with 1 count of failure to appear on a felony and given a $10,000 secured bond on that. Under our incident reports, we have a Paul Robertson reported a misdemeanor larceny and damage to personal property occurred on Baxter Cemetery Road in Far City. Looks like someone stole some fuel from his vehicle there. We have a assault with a deadly weapon occurred Helens Lane in Rutherford. We have We have Cameron Alexander reported a B&E to motor vehicle occurred Whitesides Road in Forest City. Looks like they took a black and color firearm out of his vehicle in that incident. We have a Geraldine Miller reported obtaining property by false pretense. Looks like he possibly lost $50,000 in that incident. We have a Joyce Pace reported obtaining property by false pretense. Looks like 5 money orders in that incident. And that's all we have this morning.
Deborah Randall, thank you very much for that report, and you be safe out there today.
Yes, sir. You take care and have a blessed day, sir.
Thanks. And we'll find out from 911 Communications Center their phone calls right after this.
Does your financial advisor take the time to really listen to you? Is your financial strategy personalized for you and your family? Will your financial advisor be there as your life and financial situation change? Hi, I'm Andrew Tisdale, your local Edward Jones financial advisor. When we work together, we focus what's important to you. We create a personalized strategy backed by our advice, our tools, and resources to help you reach your goals. And we partner together to help your strategy stay on track no matter what happens. Contact me at any time at 828-287-9197. We'll sit down, talk, and we're going to make a strategy that's right for you.
Here's Jessica now with the 911 report from the weekend. Jessica, good morning.
Good morning.
What's on that report?
In the past 48 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications Center has processed 777 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 92 EMS calls. Sheriff's Office responded to 348, Forest City to 142, Lake Lure to 19, Rutherford to 75, Spindale to 74. Fire calls, Cherry Mountain respond to a vehicle accident, Cliffside respond to a vehicle accident, Green Hill respond to a vehicle accident, Sandy Mush responded to a fire alarm, SDO responded to a vehicle accident, and Union Mills to a vehicle accident. And that's all we've got today.
Thanks, Jessica. You have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, it's 23 minutes after 7. We'll get to our next phone call in just a moment. Let me help squash down one of these social media rumors that maybe you have heard about. Rutherford County Sheriff's Office and Rutherford County School System have been made aware of a social media message circulating through Snapchat threatening students and school personnel at a school described as Central High School. Well, the message was supposedly posted by Alex Anderson. Well, Alex is not a student at any school in Rutherford County, North Carolina. This message has been broadly recirculated through the school community and throughout the county. School officials and law enforcement personnel appreciate all the calls, texts, and tip lines called alerting us to the message and the potential threat it expresses. They have investigated the source of the message and its recirculation within the local school community. However, at this time, they do not believe the message is connected to a school in Rutherford County at all or poses any threat to students or employees at a school in Rutherford County, North Carolina. Investigations into the social media posts have been conducted in several communities with a Central High School around the country, and the post appears to target Central High School in St. Joseph, Missouri, not RS Central High School. At all times, the safety of the students in schools in Rutherford County are the top priority of school officials and Rutherford County Sheriff's Department. They will continue to monitor social media activity, investigate real and potential threats, and take every step necessary to ensure a safe school environment. School Resource Officer Supervisors Captain Leon Godlock and the Rutherford County Schools Investigator Captain Chris Lovelace, and all of that is saying that the social media outburst for right here is not pertaining to us whatsoever. So please do not swallow those kind of things you read on social media until you can check it out and verify it. Here now is Ruby Taylor with the SDO report. Ruby, good morning.
Good morning.
What's on your report today, Ruby?
Well, I don't know whether they had anything yesterday or not, Jim. I was gone all day. And on my birthday calendars, I've got Helen Hutchins, Robin Oliver, Josh Jones, and Judy Radford having birthdays. Mr. and Mrs. Philip Marr had an anniversary. Sandra's breast today and tomorrow. And Jim, that's all I got.
Well, you have a great Monday, and I will see you next time.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Cakes and cookies, toys and gifts. Christmas at your fingertips.
It's the shopping event of the season, the Southern Christmas Show, November 14th through 24th at the Park Expo and Conference Center. Explore a woodland Christmas with forest-inspired decorations for the merriest time of year, and shop hundreds of booths to find one-of-a-kind gifts for everyone on your list. Buy tickets online and save at southernchristmasshow.com.
Let's go to the Southern Christmas Show.
Todd says it's too early for that, but it is coming next month. So believe it or not, the Christmas show is going to be happening this year, and they had to postpone it for at least a couple of years. So it is back, and that is coming up. 26 now past 7. And here's Gary Wilson up in Fairfield Mountains Fire District Community. Gary, how you doing this morning?
Doing good, Jim. How you doing?
Doing good. You had a good weekend, I hope?
Had a good quiet weekend. Sure did. Had one call Saturday for a tree in the road up on Young's Mountain. And that's the only fire call we had this weekend. Everything was pretty quiet on that side. Nice, beautiful days, I tell you. Can't beat the weather.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna maybe get a chance of some rain this afternoon and tonight. That'd be good. Put a little of that down. Just don't need no storms or anything, but hopefully get a little rain out of it. Maybe some more toward Thursday, where it sounds like a better chance. And we're about 54 degrees this morning, and everything peaceful up here in beautiful downtown Lake Lord, and ready for another day.
All right. Let's make it happen, Gary. I'll see you tomorrow.
You have a good one.
All right. Bye.
Hey, folks, Farmer's Friend Feed Seed Supply is an amazing store. I can say that because they have what you need. From pet supplies to fire and ant killer to horse-quality Timothy alfalfa hay, $14 per bale. Attention carp fishermen, they have C&J flavoring, only $8 per bottle. And they have oats for sale. Refill your propane tanks at the lowest price. Fully stocked with all your deer supplies and a great selection of farm implements. Need mulch? $12 per scoop. We could call it a superstore. Farmer's Friend Feed Seed Supply, 188 Whiteside Road in Rutherford.
Here's DeVern Upton now over in Boston with our report from that community. DeVern, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Jim. I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm doing good. Do you have a good weekend?
I had a wonderful weekend.
Good.
It's a nice morning over here. Our temperature is 58 degrees. The fire department had a one call. They had to set up a landing zone, and they had a medical call. And tonight is their meeting at 6 p.m. If anyone's interested in joining, or just come out and talk with you firemen, tell them how much you appreciate them, and look around at the fire department.
All right. That's good advice. Maybe we should show more appreciation to those folks.
That's true.
Listen, you have a good Monday, and I will check back in with you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks, DeVern. Let me brag on Hutchins Pest Control a minute. Don't let the pest bug you when Hutchins Pest Control is as close as a phone call. Honest, dependable, professional, and on-time service may be the reason they keep getting voted best pest control. If you have a pest problem, call this family-run business at 287-5171. Licensed in North and South Carolina and fully insured and bonded. Get a free estimate when you call Hutchins Pest Control, and be sure the job is done right. That's Hutchins Pest Control. Call them today at 287-5171, and they'll be right there. All right, here's Bob Hodge. Nobody gets a better deal than the customers at Sisk Family Ford. They have a proven record of the best deals. Sisk Family Ford, Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealer, has recently been recognized as the #1 Ford dealer in customer satisfaction in the Southeast. That speaks well of their commitment to serve their customers well. Look for all the new design 2021 F-150 at Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealership. That's Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
But we're doing just fine up here on this Monday morning, and got a few dark wind clouds are blowing around out there, so look like might get stormy later on this afternoon. So
yeah, I believe you're right.
So they talk like the wind's going to get up and might have a few storms pass through, and look like the day is going to be the warmest day we're going to have this week. It's going to go downhill with us there, so feel more like October, won't it?
It sure will. It's really changing fast, isn't it?
That sure is there, but leaves are beginning to turn pretty good up this way, so maybe that cool weather will make them turn a little prettier there. But, Jim, with the fire department, we've answered one medical call overnight. Hadn't had any fire or wreck calls or anything, so
good.
Things have been real quiet over the weekend, and that's about it, and I hope you have a good day.
Bob, thank you. You too, and you and I will have a good one. I will check back in with you folks again in the morning.
Okay.
Thanks, Bob.
Bye-bye.
Bob Hodge out of the Hudlow Fire District reporting to us faithfully.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush. Brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherford-ton.
The Cherry Mountain Fire District is where we're stopping next, and Sue Price is on the phone to give us the news from over there. Good morning, Sue.
Good morning, Jim.
How was your weekend?
Just another weekend. We had a quiet weekend, but that was okay.
Yeah.
Just stayed in. Well, let's see. The fire department had one accident call. Don't have any birthdays or anniversaries on my church calendar. On my personal calendar, I've got Tina Ledford and Cindy McCurry, so I hope those ladies will have a good day today. And on Fairviews, they've got Tina Ledford and Albert Hudson, so hope they have a good day. And I don't think First Sprout has any birthdays today, but no, they don't have anything, so not too many celebrating. But if anybody's having a birthday or anniversary, we'll have a real good day on their special day and enjoy it. And in my announcements today is the blood drive up at Golden Valley Community Clubhouse. It's from 3 to 7 p.m., and everybody come on out if you can give blood. It's always needed. And as far as I know, that's the only announcement I have. It's just quiet and calm over this way. Looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one, Jim.
Tina Ledford's my sweet little niece, and she's always charming to be around. She's a sweet little lady.
She is.
So happy birthday, Tina.
Is.
You have a great day over there, and I'll see you next time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. 33 minutes after 7. One of the places that we encourage folks to stop when they're visiting this area, because I know you local folks love to go there too. But folks visit this area and they say, well, where can we go? I always recommend Washburn Store. A lot of the stuff they carry there, I don't want to call it stuff, but all the things they have there, made in North Carolina. A lot of them are made in North Carolina and certainly in the U.S. of A. The Seagrove handcrafted candles, the Troutman rocking chairs and stools. They got beautiful Africans, aprons, and bonnets. Guilford Mill cornmeal and grits, pancake mix, sweet potato gingerbread mixes. They have wooden butter molds, cheerwine, delicious honey, jams and jellies, bologna, all kinds of things, overalls. It's just amazing the kind of store that it is. Why don't you stop by? Oh, they always keep fresh candy, too. Washburn Store between Boston and Sunshine on the Boston Sunshine Highway, and tell your visitors to visit Washburn Store.
Cheryl, I've been talking to Tommy and David, the outside salesmen at Henson Building Materials in Forest City. They're going to help us navigate through our remodeling project.
Well, I know they have tons of experience, so we'll be in good hands.
Good hands is right. Even professional builders shop there because they trust the quality products and service.
And did you know they have a great relationship with our community, too? Oh, they're so nice.
Henson Building Materials, 177 Duke Street, Forest City.
Building starts here.
Yes, Tina now reporting from Shingle Hollow Fire District on this Monday morning. Tina, how you doing?
Doing well this morning. How are you, Jim?
Doing well, too.
had a great weekend. Saturday mornings, the family got up and went up to the White House Community Clubhouse for their breakfast. Oh, it was wonderful.
Boy.
They said their next one won't be until January, but we need to mark our calendars for the last Saturday of I think it is, of each month.
They had a good turnout, I guess. Good turnout up there, a lot of people.
There was it was a steady coming in and going out, and wonderful food, and it was all you could eat. I mean, it was just a good atmosphere. So we just we enjoyed that. Then we rode up to Cataloochee and saw the elk. Beautiful time to do that, and the leaves were beautiful too.
You saw some elk?
Yep, saw some elk. I just think they're amazing to watch, which I like to watch animals anyway.
Yeah.
Humans too.
And humans can be animals sometimes.
That's correct. Well, it's 54 degrees up here in Shingle Hollow, and the skies are gray. Going to be an okay day, I think. Maybe some rain showers coming in later. And there's no birthdays on any of the church calendars, but on my personal calendar, I have a wonderful birthday for my Aunt Cindy McCurry. So anybody sees Cindy today, please tell her happy birthday. And this coming Saturday, Pilgrim's Way Baptist Church is having their 5th Saturday morning youth meeting. Everyone's invited to come out to that. It starts at 10, and they invite all youth groups. So if there's any youth ministers listening, they would love to have you to come out. There's a meal afterwards. This Saturday, 10 a.m. it starts. And that's all I've got right now.
All right. Well, that's a good start for the week.
I think so, too, and I hope everyone has a wonderful Monday, and stay safe out there.
Thanks, Tina. You have a good one, and I'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Shingle Hollow reporter Tina White. It's 37 minutes after 7. Remember, high school football tonight. Thomas Jefferson homecoming tonight. They play Highland Tech at home tonight here at Avondale. And we hope you'll join us for that game. Go support them live and in person if you can. If you can't, be sure to listen here on WCAB. Or on www.wcab59.com. Be streaming that broadcast on the web.
Another season has come and gone, and you're still looking at that same sad-looking sofa or recliner. Well, now's the time to change the inside of your home to look as pretty as colors outside. And the perfect place to start is the Recliner Center. Right now at the Recliner Center, everything is 20% off. That's 20% off sofas, recliners, sofa recliners. If someone you love is having trouble standing, the Recliner Center has all lift chairs on sale for 10% off. All lift chairs, 10% off. Now, some of these chairs can take you from a standing position, then safely back down to a sitting position with no effort on your part whatsoever. Angela is cleaning out merchandise to make room for more. So now's your chance to redecorate your home and take advantage of the great savings at the Recliner Center. All lift chairs, 10% off. Everything else is 20% off. Angela is seeing folks by appointment only, so call 828-395-3562. Call her today. The Recliner Center. They're on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherford.
And let me remind folks, too, if you missed part of the morning call around report, you can always go back to our website and pull up Listen Live and click on the date that you want to hear. And the report will be there as well, hopefully, if all technicalities are taken care of. And you can hear the report again if you missed something. And again and again and again, including high school football Friday nights, which would be a Monday night. Tonight, you can go back and listen to that game from past games in history and find out who did what and how much you enjoyed it before. You can enjoy it again. Now let's head up toward Union Mills, and while we're recording, we'll get Brenda Kelly on the radio for the report from there. Good morning, Brenda.
Good morning. How are you on this magnificent Monday morning?
It is a wonderful day, and I feel great.
I hear you, Dr. Bob.
Yeah. You had a good weekend, I guess?
I did. I went with my daughter and her grandchildren and my great-grandchildren down to the corn maze in Shelby Saturday.
Oh, yeah? How was that?
Yeah. Do what?
How was that?
Oh, it was fun. They had all kind of stuff. They even had little old round tables set up where you could play checkers, and they had something where you take these blocks of wood and start a tower up, you know, and then you pull one out and put it. And I watched people do that. Some of them got them way high. I'd have had it falling down before it got started good.
Yeah. Sound like
but
a fun
it was
day.
fun. Yeah, it was fun. They had all kind of stuff.
Did you go through the maze?
No, because at my age, I didn't take my walking stick with me. When I'm outside on unlevel ground, normally I'll take my walking stick, and it was through a cornfield. Plus, I'm allergic to corn like that. When it touches my body, it breaks me out. So I just chose to sit there and watch the people go by.
Yeah, well, I don't blame you for that at all.
I didn't want to fall in that corn maze and break something, so but now I did walk around everywhere else and watch the children play and do whatever. It was fun. Was you aware that Darrell Barnett at Tri-City Tower, that his wife died and was buried yesterday?
I was not aware of that, no.
Yeah. I didn't know it till Saturday evening. His sister was married to Donald's brother, and that's how I come to know him.
I did not know that. I was... I tell you, there have been too many of those lately. I tell you, it's been
Yeah, she died with cancer, so I want to send my love and Christian sympathy out to that family.
And her funeral was yesterday.
Yep. Mhm.
Would they have the
Paget
funeral?
and King.
Really?
Mhm.
Well,
I don't know why.
Well, you know, Tracy that works here, her dad passed away
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
yesterday.
Oh.
Jimmy Hauser, he passed away yesterday.
Oh. Well, we want to send our Christian love and sympathy out to her too.
Yep.
Our pastor's father-in-law died. He lived in Albemarle. He was buried yesterday. Just a lot of it going on, I tell you.
Yeah.
But it's appointed to man to once die and then the judgment.
That's right. That's right. Doesn't make
Well,
it any easier for us, though, does it?
No, it don't. It sure don't. No, death is a cruel thing. But in time, joy cometh in the morning.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I've got 52 degrees on the front porch. I don't have any birthdays or anniversaries. And in ways of announcement, we got a Fall Fest at the Mills, October the 30th, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. This is at the Old Union Mills School. 60-plus vendors, food trucks, family, fun. Come and support small businesses. And then on November the 5th, Winging It will be at the Union Mills Learning Center. The music starts at 7 p.m. They have a meal available beginning at 6 p.m., and the cost of the meal is $5. And other than that, I don't have anything going on that I know of.
Okay, Brenda.
So
appreciate you
we're
keeping
just
us
looking-
posted.
We're just looking for a good day and hope you have one.
Thanks. I hope you have a good one as well. I will see you back here tomorrow.
Catch you later.
Thanks. Bye.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Now it's time for the Luther Gilligan Show, live and directly from Ellenboro, North Carolina. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, you two. It's a nice day down here this morning.
Nice day.
But it's quiet down this morning. Not a whole lot going on. People just trying to get wound up for another week. Had a quiet weekend for the most part. Fire department only had one medical call. Had it yesterday and Saturday. They had medical call Saturday. Yesterday was quiet. There was nothing going on last night, this morning. Just nothing happening down here. So you have a great day, Barry. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Luther. Have a good day now.
Take care now.
Bye. And that leaves us time for birthdays and anniversaries for this 25th day of October, October the 25th. If you are one that celebrated on this date, or you have or know someone that is celebrating on this day, let us know that. We'll celebrate as well. Give you a big shout out on your birthday or anniversary for the 25th of October. Call us now at 287-3356. That's 287-3356.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or a loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
You know, I don't think there's anything that strikes fear in the hearts of people more than getting a message from the IRS audit, maybe an audit letter in the mail. Well, audits take much time away from your business and family, requiring you to gather mounds and mounds of records, and can become overwhelming for us, can't it? Well, unless you have someone you can depend on to take care of that for you, you need to call on IE Accounting and Tax Service. That's why we recommend IE Accounting and Tax Service. Chris and his team of professionals are in the business to help. Even if you depended on someone else to prepare your taxes, IE Accounting and Tax Service will be glad to assist you or your company. Don't hesitate to call them today. They'll be glad to talk to you. As a small business owner, you have more important things to do than keep your own books. Why not let IE Accounting and Tax Service take care of your books for you so that you can get back to running your business? Consider their payroll solutions for your business, cash flow management, litigation support, and forensic investigation. Why not give them a call and see what they can do for your business? Here's that phone number. It's 828-395-1777. Again, that's 395-1777. They're located at 211 West Main Street in Spindale. Again, that's IE Accounting and Tax Service, and that's spelled ARYEE. Well, Granny B's closed on Mondays, of course, for breakfast, but they're just doing breakfast now. And well, what a breakfast it is. Yep. They open at 6:30 Tuesday through Saturday with ham, bacon, sausage, liver mush, eggs, gravy biscuits, hash browns, breakfast platters, anything your way that you want it. They can do it. Plenty of coffee. Why don't you depend on them to prepare your breakfast for you tomorrow morning? Granny B's there in Spindale, right next to the Shake Shop. It's a great place to have breakfast, lunch, or supper.
Happy birthday.
I want to wish Garrett McGinnis a happy 14th birthday. I want to wish Garrett a happy birthday. And my niece, Tina Ledford, want to wish her a happy birthday as well. Other birthdays include Pablo Picasso, he's an artist. He was born 1881, died 1973. Eugene Lee, he's Porky from the Little Rascals. You remember him? 1933 he was born. He died in 2005. Helen Reddy was a singer. 1941 was her birth date. She died on 2020. Chris Norman, he's a singer for Smokey, living next door to Alice, born in 1950. And Mark Miller, a singer for Sawyer Brown, he was born in 1958. Some of the big events on this date include the Charge of the Light Brigade occurred during the Crimean War in 1854. It was that 1870 postcard from the first postcard used in the U.S. 1955, Tappan sells the first microwave oven. 1964, on this date, Rolling Stones appear on Ed Sullivan for the first time. 1978, Halloween film debuted on this date in 1958. So there you're up to date now on what happened on this date in history, along with birthdays and anniversaries. Stand by now for Keys to Confident Living. 8 o'clock, top of the hour, we'll have a job market report for you, all right here.
A builder who had not been able to accumulate many assets was good friends with a wealthy businessman. The businessman contracted with his friend to build a very nice home. The plans and price were agreed on, and the contractor went to work. However, because he was feeling a tight financial pinch, the builder took this as an opportunity to get by with inferior materials and workmanship. When the house was finished and ready for occupancy, the builder presented the keys to his wealthy friend. The businessman then began to explain what he wanted to do with this house. He wanted to give it as a gift to the contractor because of their cherished friendship. The businessman said, "John, you have built this house especially for me, but I know you have poured yourself into it. So now I want to give it back to you, free and clear." Can you imagine the thoughts and the feelings that must have been running through the mind of the contractor to think that he had skimped and cheated on the very house that was to become his own? The Bible encourages the followers of Christ to do good work for their employers regardless of whether they like them or not. In fact, it says that we are to see our work being done for the Lord Himself, not just for someone who gives us a paycheck. The next time you find yourself grumbling because your boss asked you to do some menial job, imagine that you are doing the work for God. When we begin to look at our work in that light, we will always give it our best materials and workmanship. This is Bill Hostler with today's key to confident living.
This is 100.9 FM and the Mighty 590. The best.
The music's on us on WCAB.
In Khartoum, anger. Thousands flooded the streets to protest the apparent takeover. Protesters have been blocking roads and setting tires on fire. The latest developments have come after weeks of rising tensions between Sudan's civilian and military leaders. A failed coup attempt in September fractured the country along old lines. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
President Biden traveling to New Jersey today to push the infrastructure plan and social spending proposal. He spent part of the weekend with Democrats Chuck Schumer and Joe Manchin discussing it. You're listening to ABC News.
This investment involves a high degree of risk and is only suitable for SEC-defined accredited investors.
Attention, high net worth investors. The dietary supplement industry is a $150 billion industry and growing. A key factor driving the market is that consumers are becoming increasingly focused on their personal health and well-being. What many don't know is that 75% of the supplements we ingest and depend on for good health are imported from China, where standards are lax and pollutants and heavy metals are not uncommon.
Hi, this is Joseph Hooper with Pure Country Natural Processors. We are committed to developing the highest quality control supplements at a competitive price right here in the heartland of America. Here's your chance to be part of a unique investment opportunity. Join us as we bring more manufacturing back here to the U.S.
For more information, go to pcnp.us. That's pcnp.us or call 800-833-1883. That's 800-833-1883. 800-833-1883.
The Delta variant of the coronavirus is spreading faster than other variants, but it is not more likely to put people in the hospital. That from a new report from the CDC. With supply chains still wound tight, some economists are starting to worry about what that might do to the economic recovery. Here's ABC's Daria Albinger.
Could supply chain problems push the economy into recession? NABE's latest survey says it's on the mind of a lot of economists, and rolling disruptions only add to the concerns.
You think about the freeze in Texas that shut down their energy grid, as well as disrupted transportation and other things. You had the pipeline hack on the East Coast. You have fires, you have hurricanes, you have all these things, and they just keep rolling.
Economist Amy Cutt says this type of recession would be harder to shake off.
Normally in a recession, we'd say fiscal stimulus and off we go.
She says these are constraints that more money isn't likely to solve. Daria Albinger, ABC News.
A special football for Bucs quarterback Tom Brady almost got away. A catch by receiver Mike Evans made Brady the first ever to throw 600 touchdown passes. But Evans didn't realize it and tossed the ball to a fan, said Tom Brady after the game.
It was really cool. I got in the bag over there, so Mike gave it away. He goes, "Man, I'm sorry, man. I get it." I said, "Sorry. I'm sure they'll figure out a way to get it back." But I don't actually keep too many things. So, in that circumstance, I felt like that might be a good one to keep.
Yeah, they did find a way to get it back. The fan gave it back after getting a signed ball and a jersey. This is ABC News.
Fever is the leading symptom of COVID and the flu, and the only way to reliably detect it is with an accurate thermometer. Be vigilant and be accurate with the Exergen Temporal Scanner, whose accuracy has been proven in more than 100 clinical studies. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They are proven to be inaccurate and will not reliably detect a fever that might mean COVID. Be sure to seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Sherry Preston, ABC News.
We're going to see temperatures in the upper 70s and lower 80s for today. We have a level 2 threat for severe weather activity in place for parts of our viewing area, as we are tracking some strong to severe thunderstorms to move through as we head into this evening, clearing out by tonight. Around lunchtime, we cannot rule out a few isolated showers. Those are going to gradually move out, and as we head into the overnight hours, our temperatures will dip into the mid-50s and lower 60s. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
We're currently cloudy and 54 degrees, warming up today to about 76 for a daytime high. Now, looking at that extended forecast for the weekend coming up, on Friday, there is a 70% chance of showers likely, 50% Friday night. And then on Saturday, 50% chance of scattered showers, and Sunday, no rain there whatsoever. The last day of the month looks like it's going to be just mostly sunny for us. But the clouds are off and on. It will not rain all the time, every day, but off and on showers throughout the period, such as on Wednesday, we have a 50-50 chance of that happening. Right now it's cloudy. It looks like it could rain in a minute, but right now just cloudy and 55 degrees. And we'll have the job market report coming up here in just a few.
You say hello every time you pick up your phone, but what else do you say hello to? With Bark Mobile, you can say hello to summer, to adventure, to doing what you love, because you're also saying hello to freedom, flexibility, and great deals. Like getting a free Moto G stylus when you switch for a limited time, $100 savings when you bring the device you already love, or 2 lines unlimited data for just $35 a month per line with AutoPay. Say hello to something new. It's just a phone call away with Bark Mobile. Bark Mobile, mobile made easy. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details. Visit mybarkmobile.com/terms and conditions.
Now let's check in with our friend Anita, who has the information about jobs in the area, and we go find some jobs and make some money and spend some for Christmas. Good morning, Anita.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing good. The colors are looking pretty.
They are, aren't they? And you believe November's almost here? November, then December. We got to Christmas time.
In a week, it'll be November.
Isn't that something?
Crazy, ain't it?
My.
Well, I hate to say this, but I'm hoping that we won't have no mention of COVID next year at all. But you never know.
I hope
at least not like it has been last two.
I
but anyway.
hope you're right about that. You're probably one of these people that already got all your Christmas shopping done too, aren't you?
No, my plan is for most of them, they want money anyway. So
I hear you.
It works out better.
Sure, absolutely. Tell us where some jobs are.
All right, we got a HR manager in Far City that requires a bachelor's degree and 5 years experience. The pay starts at $36,000 up to $100,000. We have a direct support professional in Far City that does require a high school diploma. That is anywhere from $17,000 to $29,800. And then we have a career and college promise specialist in Spindale that does require an associate's degree. That pays depending on experience. We have another direct care professional in Tron that is $11 to $16 an hour. It does require a high school diploma. A project manager in Far City at $54 to $64 an hour is the pay in between there. Does require a 4-year degree and 6 years experience. We have another direct support professional in Rutherford that requires a high school diploma. The pay is $17,300 to $29,000 a year. We have a security that it's not really a security guard, but that's the way they've got it listed. It's more of a scanner, but medical scanner. But that is in Far City. We have the pay though is $19 to $21. They do want you to have a high school diploma. Supply chain associate in Far City, that is $10 to $15 an hour. They're not requiring any education or experience. We have a sales clerk in Spindale. It's $9.50 to $10 an hour. They'd like you to have a high school diploma. We have a machine operator out in Columbus. They're not requiring any education or experience. A meteorology technician in Far City, the $15 an hour is the base pay. They want you to have a high school diploma and 6-month experience. We also have some workshops. They are virtual workshops. There is one tomorrow. It's tomorrow. And then there's some other workshops also that are in person, and you can give us a call here at 223 on Charlotte Road in Rutherford, or you can just come by and see us, and we'll just help you do a resume, and we'll just connect you with one of those employers or one of those hiring events or one of those virtual workshops.
I like the fact you guys help folks with resumes if they need help with that, because sometimes that's difficult for people to get started on that.
Yeah, and that's another thing. That some of those workshops are interviewing and resumes and all those things too. So,
well, y'all do good work over there. Appreciate it.
You have a good afternoon.
You too. Enjoy your week, and I'll see you next Monday.
See you next Monday.
Bye-bye.
All right.
And that's Anita there with the job market there with our news this morning. It's 10 minutes after 8 o'clock. You know, your opportunity to brighten things up this year is here. The 2021 Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce reverse raffle tickets are available. Only 500 tickets will be sold, and you could win $8,000 or maybe $1,500 or maybe $500. 3 winners, and tickets are available now at the Chamber office, Main Street, Rutherford. They're available right here at WCAB Studios. And the drawing is going to be held December the 17th live right here on WCAB 100.9 FM, 590 AM at 8:10, and it'll also be live streamed. Be a part of supporting the Chamber with your purchase of a reverse raffle ticket and support your own opportunities to have a big Christmas. Tickets are $50, and chances of winning $8,000, $1,500, or $500 are phenomenal. Have some fun, buy a ticket, and listen for the winning number December 17th at 8:10. You know what? It could be you this year. Let us sell you a ticket, $50 each, or you can buy two for $100. Give you a deal on that, right? News from here and there this morning. Rutherford County Sheriff's Office and Rutherford County School Systems have been aware of a social media message circulating through Snapchat and other social media outlets threatening students and school personnel at a school described as Central High School. The message was supposedly posted by Alex Anderson, who is not a student at any school in Rutherford County. This message has been broadly recirculated through the school community and throughout the county. School officials and law enforcement personnel appreciate all the calls, texts, and tip line calls alerting them to this message and the potential threat it expresses. They have investigated the source of the message and its recirculation within the local school community. However, they do not believe the message is connected to a school in Rutherford County or poses any threat to any student or employees at a school in Rutherford County, North Carolina. Investigations into the social media posts have been conducted in several communities with a Central High School around the country, and the post appears to target Central High School in St. Joseph, Missouri, not R.S. Central High School. At all times, the safety of the students and schools in Rutherford County are the top priority. They will continue to monitor social media activity, investigate real and potential threats, and take every step necessary to ensure a safe school environment. So another example how folks can get carried away with one little text on social media, how it starts like it's like a bonfire, and all of a sudden everybody say, "Oh boy, you know." But we need to really be cautious about those kind of things, folks. We need to make sure to check it out before we relay any kind of news about that at all. Rutherford County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's assistance in locating a missing juvenile, Jasmine Nicole Williamson. Jasmine is a 17-year-old white female that's 5'5", weighs approximately 130 pounds. She has blue eyes, dark-colored hair. Jasmine was last seen October the 16th around 6:40 p.m. on Harris Henrietta Road in Forest City. She was last known to be wearing light gray sweatpants and a black crop top or black jacket. If you have information regarding the whereabouts of Jasmine, please contact the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office at 286-2911. Also, the McDowell County Sheriff's Office is requesting the public's assistance in locating a missing runaway juvenile, Abigail Lynn Cantrell. Abigail is a 15-year-old white female with blue eyes and red auburn hair in a dreadlock style. She is approximately 5'8" and weighing 160 pounds. Abigail was last seen on Sunday, October the 17th at approximately 8 o'clock p.m. She was at the Department of Social Services located at 389 Fairground Road in Spindale before she ran away from DSS custody. Abigail was wearing white Crocs, dark pants, and possibly a blue or white shirt at the time she ran away. She ran off on foot in an unknown direction of travel. If you have information regarding the whereabouts of Abigail, please contact the McDowell County Sheriff's Office at 652-2235 or contact any local official, and they'll help you get that information to the right source. Well, other news, Daily Courier is reporting that all shrubbery and trees in the College Avenue median will be removed. Spindale, Forest City, and county government officials signed off on this plan in a meeting Wednesday morning with officials from the North Carolina Department of Transportation. This was the second meeting in October to discuss the issue of the unkept median, complete with tall grass and weeds. Spindale Mayor Mickey Bland said at the start of the meeting, this needs more attention than it has been getting. This has been a problem for several years, and I have complained every year. Local leaders say the grass is too high and the shrubs and trees are out of control. Two main interchanges at Broadway in Forest City and Oakland Road in Spindale are maintained by the towns and are in good condition, but most of College Avenue does not look maintained. If you can mow along Highway 74 near the Equestrian Center, why can you not mow here, Bland asked. DOT officials said they recently made a site visit here to closely examine the road. DOT Division Engineer Tim Anderson said, "We rode down the corridor, looked at the vegetation in the median. We tried to determine what could be saved. Anderson said budget cuts of the past several years severely impacted DOT's ability to maintain the medians. The number of times DOT crews or contractors could mow was reduced, and when they do mow, they are not able to effectively mow around the shrubs and trees or to trim around them. The best solution, and our recommendation, he said, is to pull out everything in the median, reseed, and get the grass reestablished so that it can be maintained properly. If what we have now can be maintained, then I'd be in favor of that recommendation, Bland said. If it makes it look better, I'm for it. Forest City Town Manager Jenny Mason said we would support that as well if that's what we have now can't be maintained. Rutherford County Manager Steve Garrison also voiced complaints about the current maintenance of the median. He said that ever since the DOT stopped using prison labor and started using more private contractors, the situation has grown much worse. Garrison said, we're grateful to have a large influx of tourists. We have more traffic than ever before, and more will be coming. People notice weeds and trash along the roadway. First impressions matter. All of the local officials were in support of DOT recommendation. Regarding litter, DOT officials praised the work of Rutherford County in organizing regular litter pickup events. Anderson said Rutherford County does a terrific job with innovative ideas on this. Regarding maintenance, our funding is moving more toward normal, and we're looking forward to partnering with the Division of Prisons again in the future, so the College Avenue median will be cleared of some trees and shrubbery, which will make it look a lot better, which I'm glad to hear that report coming in. I've often wondered about why that wasn't maintained a little better. Well, the new RS Middle School under construction in Rutherford on property adjacent to RS Central High School is about 3 months away from substantial completion, according to leaders from Rutherford County Schools in an article in the Daily Courier. Rutherford County government were given a walkthrough tour of the facility last week. Commissioners who participated were Chairman Brian King, Vice Chairman Alan Toney, and Dave Hunt. They were joined by Board of Education Chairman Philip Morrow, Vice Chairman Rick Ficklin, Angel King, and Brandy Nanny. RSC administrators and Beam construction representatives also participated. Brian King said this will be such a fantastic facility. It is well planned, well thought out. The technology is amazing. The science lab is top notch. I don't think there's a better one in the region. RCS Chief Operating Officer Brad Teague, who has worked closely with the architect and construction contractor, said, we are super fortunate that we have not experienced many delays at all. Starting when we did on the project played to our advantage. Total cost of the RS Middle School project is expected to be approximately $31 million. Angel King said the cost could have been far higher if the timing had been delayed. Steel and lumber shortages across the nation have caused construction costs to rise dramatically. She said, we were told that some other school projects that started after this one are costing as much as 25 to 30% higher than original projections. This school will cost millions of dollars less than it would have cost. The new school is being constructed on 94 acres of property. The front of the school will face Westbrook Street, and it's adjacent to RS High School. So good news from that perspective, and we're glad things are moving along really well. 19 minutes after 8 o'clock, the Sheriff's Report with Deputy Brando coming up here in just a moment.
At Smith Drugs of Forest City, we are continue to offer the COVID-19 rapid testing and the COVID-19 vaccinations. Please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591 with any questions or concerns that you may have. You may also visit our website at smithsdrugsfc.com and schedule your COVID rapid 19 test or your vaccination. Again, if you have any questions, please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591.
It's that time again, time to get the flu vaccines. And Smith's Drugs in Forest City has the flu vaccinations available. Walk-ins Monday through Friday and Saturdays by appointment. And Smith's Drug is asking all their Dream Station and System 1 CPAP customers to call if you need any help with registering your recalled devices. Just call the Home Medical Department for any help or with questions at 828-245-4591.
This is Dwayne Hunt with Insurance Service Associates, wanting to let you know that we have moved. Our new office is located at 245 East Main Street in Forest City. Come see us for auto, home, or your commercial insurance needs. Also come see me, Dwayne Hunt, for your Medicare supplements, Medicare Advantage, or prescription drug plans. See us at Insurance Service Associates, now located at 245 East Main Street in Forest City, or call 828-245-5301.
Saving money is easy when you shop at Jay's Discount Grocery. From snack foods to vegetables, fresh fruits to fresh cut meats, paper products, cleaning supplies, dog food, and so much more. You know, you just never know what you'll find at Jay's. So shop and save today. They're located at 671 Oak Street in Forest City, right beside the Hospice Resale Store. You know, when you shop at Jay's, you always walk out with money left over in your pocket.
High school football tonight here on WCAB. A Friday night game postponed until tonight due to COVID circumstances with Highland Tech. Now Highland Tech's coming to Thomas Jefferson for homecoming at TJ, and we'll have that game for you this evening. Be sure to stay tuned right here on the most sports for the foothills, WCAB. Speaking of sports, Braves are in the series, and they'll play tomorrow against Houston, 6:50 airtime. 8:09 first pitch tomorrow evening, and we'll see how that goes for them. Hopefully they'll go all the way. They've played better than folks expected them to play this year, so they've done well. Maybe they got their momentum going, they got their mojo going, and maybe they'll have a good series and win this thing this year. We're pulling for them. 22 past 8. Here now is Deputy Brendel with the Sheriff's Department. He gave us the report from that department earlier. We recorded for broadcast at this time.
Past 48 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has answered 348 calls, processed 19 arrests at the county jail, and currently have 183 incarcerated. Under our arrest reports, we have a Nasher Nicole Kelly, 25-year-old black male, Far City, charged with DWI, given a written promise to appear. We have a Richard Cody Allen, 30-year-old white male, Far City, was charged with 8 counts of failure to appear on misdemeanor, given a $10,000 secured bond. We have a Gregory Chad Hudson, 36-year-old white male of Bostic, was charged with 2 counts of failure to appear on a misdemeanor, given a $10,000 secured bond. We have a Caitlin Page Smith, 29-year-old white female of Morrisboro, was charged with 1 count of failure to appear on a felony, given a $10,000 secured bond. We have a Nicole Brooke Buckner, 31-year-old white female of Rutherford, was charged with 1 count of failure to appear on a misdemeanor, given a $500 secured bond. We have a Christopher McKinney, 30-year-old black male of Rutherford, was charged with 1 count of assault on female, given no bond on that. We have a Marcus Tweedy, 27-year-old black male of Union Mills, was charged with 1 count of communicating threats and 1 count of injury to personal property, given a no bond on that. We have a Thomas Hartley, 54-year-old white male of Rutherford, was charged with 1 count of misdemeanor B&E, was given a $1,000 unsecured bond. We have a Seth Brandon Green, 20-year-old white male of Ellenboro, was charged with 1 count of failure to appear on a felony and given a $10,000 secured bond on that. Under our incident reports, we have a Paul Robertson reported a misdemeanor larceny and damage to personal property occurred on Baxter Cemetery Road in Far City. Looks like someone stole some fuel from his vehicle there. We have a assault with a deadly weapon occurred Helen's Lane in Rutherford. We have Cameron Alexander reported a B&E to motor vehicle occurred Whitesides Road in Far City. Looks like they took a black and color firearm out of his vehicle in that incident. We have a Gerald Line Miller reported obtaining property by false pretense. Looks like he possibly lost $50,000 in that incident. We have a Joyce Pace reported obtaining property by false pretense. Looks like 5 money orders in that incident. And that's all we have this morning.
Defeat. Tom Brady became the first player to throw 600 career touchdown passes in the Bucs' 38-3 thrashing of the Bears. The Packers now winners of 6 straight after handing Washington a defeat 24-10. The Bengals moved atop the AFC North. They're in a tie with the Ravens at 5-2 after Cincinnati's 41-17 win in Baltimore. Another Week 7 action. The Cardinals remain the NFL's only unbeaten team following a 31-5 thrashing of the Texans. Patrick Mahomes turned the ball over twice and was sacked 4 times as the Titans stifled the AFC champion Chiefs 27-3. The Raiders 30-22 winners against the Eagles. The Pats pounded the Jets 54-13. And the Colts nipped the Niners 30-18 in the rain. This is NCN Sports.
I got the vaccine to protect myself.
Because COVID-19 is still spreading.
All the patients I take care of with COVID-19 have one thing in common.
They have not gotten their vaccine.
The vaccines were proven safe and effective in clinical trials with thousands of people.
That's why I tell my friends and family to get theirs.
I'll take feeling achy for a day or two over going to the hospital or dying any day.
Don't wait.
Go to myspot.nc.gov
to get your free COVID vaccine.
Sponsored by NCDHHS.
If you want the nation's best auto insurer, look no further than North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Rated #1 in Crash Network's Insurer Report Card, we're the only insurer in the nation to receive an A+ rating from auto body shops in 2020 and 2021. Our philosophy is simple. Be fair, be quick, be the best. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Framber Valdez getting the starting nod for the Houston Astros in Game 1 of the World Series tomorrow. The Braves are countering with Charlie Morton, who pitched for Houston from 2017 and 2018 and got the win in Game 7 of the 2017 World Series. Meanwhile, baseball's 9th work stoppage and first in 26 years appears almost certain to begin December 2nd. In the NBA, the Charlotte Hornets are 3-0 for the first time in franchise history. Miles Bridges had 32 points and 9 boards in the Hornets' 111-95 win at Brooklyn. Kyle Larson's Cup Series high 9th win of the year coming on a most meaningful date in his new job with Hendrick Motorsports. Larson drove the number 5 Chevy to victory lane at Kansas Speedway on Sunday, the 17th anniversary of a Hendrick plane crash that killed all 10 people aboard. Larson beat reigning Cup champion and Hendrick teammate Chase Elliott by 3.619 seconds. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
We're going to see temperatures in the upper 70s and lower 80s for today. We have a level 2 threat for severe weather activity in place for parts of our viewing area as we are tracking some strong to severe thunderstorms to move through as we head into this evening, clearing out by tonight. Around lunchtime, we cannot rule out a few isolated showers. Those are going to gradually move out. And as we head into the overnight hours, our temperatures will dip into the mid-50s and lower 60s. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
54 degrees and cloudy skies here on this Monday morning, and we may get some rain before the day's over with, so watch out for that as we move through the cloudy, potentially thunderstorm day here on this 25th day of October. It's 8:30. This is WCAB Rutherford. Time now for Word of Faith Fellowship radio program, and with the program this morning is Charles and Connie Davies.
Good morning. This is Charles and Connie Davies from the Word of Faith Fellowship, and it's good to be able to come to you this morning and share our hearts with you about something that has meant so much in our lives. And if I start to cry, it's because it's been so precious for Connie and I to see what God has done in our hearts and our lives to where we could raise our children to serve God with all their heart. And I want to start when we first came here 36, almost 37 years ago. We only had a 2-year-old baby, our first son Justin. And at that time, we were in a good place because we knew we needed help. We knew things weren't right in our life. We knew that we just needed Jesus. And when we came here and joined the church at the Word of Faith Fellowship, Sam and Jane were so gracious and so loving to meet us where we were and to help us. And we learned so much. We knew, first off, when we came, that there was strife in our relationship. And we knew we didn't want to raise our son or our children in strife, because the Bible's clear: where there's envy and strife, there's confusion and every evil work. And we didn't want that in our own life, but we didn't want it in our children's lives. And God dealt with us about strife. He dealt with us about the hurt that we brought into our marriage, and the bitterness and all that was in our heart that hindered us from seeing truth and walking in truth. He dealt with us about the pride, or he dealt with me specifically about the pride, where I couldn't acknowledge that I was wrong. I didn't want to acknowledge that I was wrong. And he began to show us that the most important thing is truth. That when something came, a disagreement was between Connie and I, instead of wanting to be right or thinking I was wrong, we fought, what is truth? And a lot of times, truth was we were both wrong. Because my attitude might not have been right. Her actions might not have been right. My actions might not have been right. Her attitude might not have been right. We might have been both wrong. But we didn't zero in on she's wrong, I'm right, I'm wrong, she's right. We zeroed in on we want truth. And when we started locking our hearts into truth and wanting truth and going to Jesus, peace came into our heart. And I found out that my wife was not my problem. She found out I wasn't her problem, that we had a common enemy, and that was the devil. And we kicked that devil out of our house. And strife has not been in our house for 34, 35 years. We don't like it. We don't want it. We'll never allow it. And our children never knew what it was like to live in strife, because it wasn't allowed in our house. And that's a key for raising children, because the Bible says the children are an heritage from God. God gave us children so we could raise them and teach them God's ways and teach them how to walk with Him and serve Him so they could experience the true love of God. In Ephesians it says that knowledge without experience isn't worth anything. It's the experience of the love of God that changes a man's heart, changed my heart, changed Connie's heart, and changed our children's heart. We also, as I said, was learning to love truth. God started showing us places where the love of the world was in our hearts and in our children's hearts. And we saw clearly when the spirit of the world is in your heart, then there's a place in your heart where the world can take you over. A lot of parents don't understand what happens to their children as they get older and they end up going out into the world and not serve Jesus. Because after all, they might have brought them up in a church. They might have taught them God's ways, but they didn't guard them from the spirit of the world. They didn't even see what the spirit of the world was, and they didn't know how to train them and teach them in God's ways. And God began to show us specific things that was in our lives and we were putting in our children. And I want to read a scripture before I go there. This is Galatians 6:7. It says, "Do not be deceived and deluded and misled. God would not allow himself to be sneered at, scorned, disdained, or mocked by mere pretensions or professions, or by his precepts being set aside. He inevitably deludes himself who attempts to delude God. For whatever a man sows, that and that only is what he will reap." That scripture has been burned in my heart, because there's been seeds that I've allowed sown in my heart, and those seeds were from the devil himself, from the world itself. And it produced bad fruit in my life. And out of that, the scripture's clear. I can only give to my children what I have. And if I allow those seeds that the devil planted in my heart to stay, then I'm just going to give that to my children. And that's what we've done. But by God's grace and by God's power, God has shown us how to find repentance, how to repent, get our heart right, and to walk free from the power of sin, the power of this world. Because the spirit of this world has power. And the Bible's clear. If you have any common ground, Jesus said he didn't have any common ground with the devil. So he had nothing in common, nothing to grab hold of him. But if there's something inside, a seed that the devil can put inside our hearts or inside our children's hearts, that seed can grow and it can give the devil power to pull them out of the will of God, to pull them out from serving God and pull them into the world and to serve the devil, because that's what the world is. It's the devil himself. And so God showed us there were certain things. One of the first things was the TV. God showed us because we saw clear more and more how much the spirit of the world produces those shows. And the spirit of the world is in the actors in those shows, in those things. He showed us how fantasy opens your heart and mind up for demons to take children over. I saw how it took me over in my own life. And how there was no truth in it. You know, the Bible says we're to live truly, deal truly, and speak truly. And fantasy and looseness, a lot of looseness, and then all the, I call junk on the TV. So we got rid of our TV back in 1994, I believe. And you know what took place? We found out we could have a relationship with our children. We found instead of putting them in front of a TV and watching it with them and having a relationship with a TV, we could have a relationship with our children. And we could learn to get to know them, and they could learn to get to know us, and we could share our lives together and be apart together. And it was the greatest thing that ever happened. That was one thing. Then God showed us other things. He showed us music. You know, when someone sings, someone plays an instrument, they do it out of their heart and what's in their heart. And when someone's heart is full of the world, I don't care if they put Jesus' name on the song. The spirit of the world that's in the person that's singing or playing that instrument is what's going to come out and what's going to go into our hearts if we allow it. Those are seeds. And those seeds will produce down the road. I saw it in my own life. I saw the music I listened to, the seeds that came into my heart, the rebellion against wanting to serve God that came into my heart. The rebellion about just wanting to do what I want to do came into my heart. And then I wanted, out of that, I felt a call of God. I felt like a desire for God. So then I wanted to serve God my way, out of the rebellion that was put in my heart. And that's what we see today. That's what was in me. And we didn't want that for our children. Because we knew that if there's any seed put in their hearts that was not by the Spirit of God, that's a place the devil could grab hold of them. That's why it's so important that we learn God's ways. We learn what God has to say. And our hearts are open. That's why we have to have a relationship with Jesus. You know, you can do all the right things, but without a relationship with Jesus, and Jesus meaning something to you, you're giving them head knowledge. There's no heart in it. There's no love, because the Bible says God is love. And without God's love in a relationship, it's empty. It's totally empty. It's full of perversion. The children may obey you because they know, they have to. But when the love of God's in your heart, they'll want to. And there'll be a bond there. And out of that bond, you'll serve God together. Honey, I know you got things to share.
Well, we both have so much to share that God has shown us through the years. And I know for me, one of the dealings of God in my heart was God required us to decide what is going to be important to us in our marriage. What are we going to value? What is going to be the most important thing? And of course, as Charles has already said, serving God is the most important thing in our lives, because without Him, we don't even have a marriage. We don't have a family. We have nothing without Jesus. But as we begin to really consider, even way back before we came, what was going to be important to us and our family, as God would bless us with children. And, really that's something that everybody needs to take a few moments to reflect on and consider. What means something to me? What is of value and real importance? Because the things that are important to us are the things that we're going to invest our time in, we're going to give our energy to, we're going to pay attention to, the things that mean something. The Bible says that where your treasure is, there is your heart. Right. And what do we treasure? What's important? In the book of Philippians, it says this, that Paul was writing to the church, and he said, I pray that you may learn to sense what is vital and approve and prize what is excellent and of real value, recognizing the highest and the best and distinguishing the moral differences. And then you may be untainted, pure and unerring, blameless, so that with heart sincere and certain and unsullied you may approach the day of Christ, not stumbling or causing others to stumble. And the thing that I can honestly say that Charles and I decided years ago, that when God gave us children, that we were going to do everything we could to the best of our ability to raise them in God. Even though at the time we didn't understand all that would require of us, we knew that our children were going to be very important to us and that we would have them and prize them as valuable, knowing that they were a gift from God. They don't belong to us, they belong to Jesus, but that we would be given the responsibility to raise them. Right. And, back many years ago, and this may not apply to everyone because I understand people's circumstances are different, but we decided years ago that when we did have children, that I would be at home with them. I would take responsibility primarily to be there with them, and we did exactly that. I left opportunities in my life where I could have had a career and I could have done a lot of things. Had a good education, had opportunities given to me, but I knew what was important, what God had placed in our hearts, that the children that God gave us would be of primary importance. So when we came here, I went to school because my son went to school. I ended up being a teacher at the Christian school, and actually his friends became my friends because that meant something to me, to know that my child was in a good environment, that my child was being educated by the Spirit of God, that he was surrounded by friends and teachers and ministers that loved him. I wanted to be a part of that. I didn't want to miss what God was doing in his life because I knew that was a primary responsibility that God had given me, and that's what God had put in my heart.
I just wanted to add with that because talk about priorities. I remember when we moved here, and I remember I interviewed a job and they accepted me, and it was an opportunity to make a lot of money back in 1986. I could have made up to $60,000, which was a lot of money to me at that time. But Connie and I prayed about it, and we knew in our heart that we wanted to do what's right for our children. And I could have justified and said, well, I could provide and make all this money and and provide all these things for my children. But in our heart, we knew it wasn't right. So I decided not to take the job. It would have been in the natural, the easiest way. But I never, in all my life, regret making that decision. Because by making that decision, even on the natural it seemed harder, we had to trust Jesus, and we had to go to Jesus. And Jesus became more important to us than making money. And our children became more important than making money. And we realized that God's approval was on our lives and that he would take care of us because we were making decisions not based on what we thought needs were or wants, but based on what we believed God was speaking to our hearts. And we were at a place where we wanted to be honest with ourselves and honest with God. And you know, that was a hard thing for me because I grew up not being that way. I grew up just kind of pushing everything down and acting like everything's going to be all right. But to be honest with God and to open up your heart and say, God, you know, what do we do? And we want to do what's right. And out of that place, God showed us because our hearts was to do God's will. And out of that place, not only did we learn God, but then we were able to begin to teach our children how God works and lives.
And so that really goes back to the point, what do you value? I mean, is your job more important than your family? Are your extracurricular activities, your sports, or is there something in your life that you value more than you value your children? I mean, that's something that every person needs to consider, because the responsibility of having a child brings with it a lot of time, and a lot of investment of your time and your energy, but you've got to be willing to do that, and it's got to be in your heart to do that. And you've got to understand that, you know, the years that you have with your children are precious years, and you don't want to miss what God has for your life, and especially with those children, if he's given them to you. There's a purpose and a plan of God for them in your life, right, and you don't want to miss that. You know, and you know, we're not to say that we did everything right. We certainly didn't. There were many bumps along the way and challenges that we faced along the way. But, you know, having children causes you to go to God. Yeah. Because it is a challenge sometimes. It's not always an easy road. And we did make several mistakes, many mistakes. But God was always there for us when we missed it, because our heart was to get it right. Our heart was to have the wisdom of God and to know what to do to help them. But one of the scriptures I had was in Proverbs, and there's a lot of scriptures in Proverbs about raising up children. But this is one that was very significant. In Proverbs 24:3, it says, through skillful and godly wisdom, a house, a life, a home, and a family is built. And by understanding, it is established on a sound and good foundation. And by knowledge shall its chambers of every area be filled with all precious and pleasant riches. Really, God is the only one that knows what you need in raising your children. God's the one that gives you the wisdom, the understanding, the heart, whatever it is, he will fully equip you. Listen, if God gave you a child, he's not going to give you children and leave you alone to raise those children. God will give you those children, and it says that God will give you the wisdom to do it. And as you seek God's wisdom, you will find that your home will be stable. Your home will be full of love and peace. And what Charles said earlier, it's true. We never had strife in our family because we decided a long time ago that it was not going to reside with us. We decided that. And one of the things my daughter mentioned to me last night says, Mom, I never remember there being strife in our family. I never remember that. All I remember is peace, and I remember stability. And that means a lot. I mean, that's one thing that children need today. They need to know that there's a sense of belonging, that they're loved and they're provided for, that their life has value to you. And you're the one that has to communicate that to them by spending time with them, by doing things with them, by teaching them and training them like the word of the Lord says. And it says that by knowledge, its chambers shall be filled with all precious and pleasant riches. People think of when they read about riches or treasures, they think in the natural. Listen, there are things that we have that money cannot buy.
That's right.
We don't have a lot of money, but what we have is worth more than money.
It is.
It's a rich treasure from heaven, and God has shown us principles and given us wisdom and knowledge concerning each individual child. And again, each child is different.
That's right.
Everyone, we have 3 children. They're now 38, 34, I think, and 30, and every one of them are different. But as we've inquired of God, God has given us that wisdom, as it says in James 1:5. It says that he will give you wisdom and will upbraideth not. He will give it to you liberally, whatever it is that you need. And God has never failed us every time that we've gone to God with a challenge, especially concerning our children. God's answer has been there. God has given us his wisdom. And if we did not know, if we could not hear directly from God, we have pastors, we have teachers, we've had ministers in our life that love our children, that have been able to help us. And we're so grateful for the gifts of God that God has placed. We cannot take the credit for what we have. I mean, it's only through God and what God has provided for us, and how we have used and accessed those resources in the people that are in our lives to help us along.
God has shown us who to go to for help, and it's been such a blessing at our church because Sam and Jane has set an example for us. And their daughter, Robin, she loves God with all her heart. And it's sad when I hear about ministers' children, and I see that, they're a reproach as far as to serving God and the ministry. And it's a reflection of where the work of the Spirit hadn't been done in the pastors or the ministers. Because when the work of the Spirit's done in your heart and you allow God to change your heart personally, you can give that to your children. Again, I go back to your children. My life first is a reflection of the seeds that were put in my heart that I allowed there. And I've had to do a lot of repentance. And I've had a lot of deliverance. Because when you allow demon powers to come into your heart, hurt, bitterness, anger, frustration, the things that you grow up with and you didn't know how to deal with, when they stay there, all you can do is give that to your children, even though you may not want to. And I did that at first. But I found a new way of living. I found out that Jesus is real. I found out that deliverance is real. I found out that being set free from hurt and bitterness and anger is real, that you don't have to live with it. And now I can give love to my children. And I can receive from my children too. Sometimes it's hard to receive from your children. It's hard to receive from God. It's hard to receive from anybody. I live by you can live with people and still be by yourself. But the greatest joy is to be open-hearted to God, be open-hearted to your children, my wife, your children, and enjoy the blessing of a rich, heartfelt, meaningful relationship with your children. And now, because they're all married, now with their spouses, they're like our children. They're no different. And we feel so close to all of them, and they feel close to us. And we do anything for them, and they do anything for us. They literally would. And now we have 5 grandchildren, and we get to enjoy them, and they get to enjoy us. And, it's wonderful when we allow the work of the Spirit to take place in our lives. We stop being so rebellious and stubborn, because I was so rebellious and stubborn in the past. I just did things my way, out of my own self-will. Of course, I wasn't born again, because you don't live that way when you're born again. Honey, did you have the scripture?
Yes. One other thing I wanted to share in Proverbs 41. You can spend your life either building your home, building your family, or tearing it down. And it's so sad to see families that are torn apart, that don't have a foundation of love and peace. And, there are things that people do to tear down their families, and and not even meaning to do it. It's not like people would mean to do anything harmful. But, I thought about some things that tear children down. Charles and I have sought ways of bringing our children into places where we are doing what we're doing and including them in our lives as well. And with small children, there's some things you can't do with a small child, but as they've gotten older and as they grow, we look for opportunities to bring them in and pull them in to be a part of what we're doing. They want to be a part of our lives. And you find out that children love time with moms and dads. And it doesn't matter if you're working in the yard or picking up trash, or when I go to the church, I would take my children to the church with me. They want to be a part of your life. And a lot of times parents find someone to watch their children so they can do their work or do what they've got to do.
It's not convenient, or that it take too much time, and so you miss out on that bonding that God would want, and that training of skills of just learning how, like my grandchild yesterday was helping me in the yard, and he was using a shovel to help me, and all those things that just bring a bonding and a relationship that you cherish the rest of your life. And instead of being so caught up in, I want to get this done, and it's going to take too much to have them around me, you're really destroying a child's life that way.
Children want to be a part. They want to feel like they're being helpful, and that's a very key element in developing those relationships. I share this with you, this little story. We're going to run out of time, but I felt like this was very significant. I had that relationship with my 3 children. I would always include them in what I was doing if I could, if it was appropriate. And I spent a lot of time with them, and especially my daughter, Caroline. And Charles's mom came to me one time, and she was disturbed. And she told me, she said, "Connie, I feel something not right in my heart." And I didn't know what was going on. But she said, "You have a relationship with Caroline that I always wanted with my mother. And I didn't have it because my mom didn't take time for me. She didn't teach me how to cook. She didn't teach me how to sew. She didn't teach me basic skills. I always felt like I was in her way." And I thought, this woman, bless her heart, all she wanted was a relationship with her mother. All she wanted was to sit side by side and be trained and taught how to do basic things around the house. Her mother didn't have time for her, and it destroyed her. I mean, it really did a lot of destruction in her life. And I learned something from that you don't want to put children to the side, make them feel like that they're in the way. Put them so you can get your work done. And don't get me wrong, there are things that need to be done in your life that the children can't be there. I understand. But anytime there's an opportunity to bring them into a place of ministry or a place where they can help, it's very important to do that. Otherwise, we're destroying their lives. And that's in Proverbs 14:1. It talks about tearing down your family, and we don't want to be a part of that.
We don't. And we ran out of time. We want you to have a great day. Please join us Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 8:30 to 9. Thank you and God bless.
Could you use an extra $8,000, maybe $1,500 or $500? Your opportunity to brighten things up this year is here. The 2021 Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce reverse raffle tickets are now available. Only 500 tickets will be sold, and you could win $8,000, $1,500, or $500. 3 winners and tickets are available now at the Chamber office, Main Street, Rutherford, and here at WCAB. Our Chamber board members have them. The drawing this year will be held December 17th, live on WCAB 100.9 FM, 590 AM at 8:10, and it will be live streamed. Be a part of supporting the Chamber with your purchase of a reverse raffle ticket. Tickets are $50, and the chances of winning $8,000, $1,500, or $500 are phenomenal. Have some fun, buy a ticket, and listen for the winning number December 17th at 8:10. You know what? it could be you.
Get the first weather forecast at 6:05 here on 100.9 FM 590 AM WCAB Rutherford.
Gruesome discovery in a Houston area apartment. The remains of a 9-year-old boy found along with 3 children, all under the age of 16. Police say the body could have been there as long as a year. The boy's mother and her boyfriend are in custody and being questioned. Pfizer's COVID vaccine for kids ages 5 to 11 could be authorized as early as this week. Experts like Robert Wood Johnson Foundation head Dr. Richard Besser say it's not too early to call your pediatrician now to schedule an appointment.
For a lot of parents, they don't get time off work, so if you want an appointment that works for you, I don't think it's too soon to call up and get in line if you're a parent who's made the decision that this is right for your child.
Severe weather on the West Coast leading to hundreds of evacuations in Marin County because of flooding. You're listening to ABC News.
If you're with Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile, you're paying too much for cell service. It's Jill Schlesinger. Did you know Pure Talk gives you the same great coverage on the same great 5G network as one of the big guys for about half the cost? The average family is saving over $800 a year. I know what you're thinking. How do they do that? Pure Talk doesn't have thousands of retail stores and overhead that you have to pay for. And they don't charge you for the added perks that you never use. You can keep your phone number and keep your phone or get huge discounts on the latest iPhones and Androids. Unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data is just $30 a month. From your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say Jill50 to save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, say Jill50. Pure Talk is simply smarter wireless.
New details about the deadly accident on the set of a movie in New Mexico. Crew members telling police that star Alec Baldwin was rehearsing a scene where he was supposed to draw a gun and point it at the camera when the gun went off. Cinematographer Helena Hutchins was killed. Here's ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
Investigators say the prop gun was arranged on a cart by Hannah Gutierrez Reed, the person in charge of prop firearms on the set. The report says Assistant Director Dave Halls handed the Colt revolver to Baldwin, saying it was cold, meaning not loaded with any live rounds. While the gun was in Baldwin's hands, a projectile fired. We reached out to both the armorer and the Assistant Director for comment, but haven't yet heard back.
Keeping warm is going to cost more this winter. ABC's Mona Kosar-Abdi keeping an eye on home heating prices.
Americans already finding higher prices at the grocery store and at the gas station will soon be facing higher prices in their home heating bills as well. Propane prices are expected to jump more than 50% this winter. Natural gas could be at least 30% higher, and heating oil prices could surge nearly 60%, according to a government report. Experts say prices could be far worse if we have a colder than expected winter.
Big day for Tesla. Car rental company Hertz now says it is ordering 100,000 of Tesla's cars, the biggest single order ever for the electric vehicles. The Tesla Model 3 is now the first electric vehicle to ever top monthly sales charts in Europe as well. This is ABC News.
Pro football season's here, and pro roofers save valuable time with Beacon Pro Plus. Beacon Pro Plus works 24/7 for material ordering, order history, and automated promotion tracking, so you can get your favorite GAF roofing products even when working remotely. And now, order on Beacon Pro Plus and get a $175 gift card and a chance for a VIP pro football getaway. Gear up and raise your game with Beacon Pro Plus today. Build, score, and win at BECN.com.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
We're going to see temperatures in the upper 70s and lower 80s for today. We have a level 2 threat for severe weather activity in place for parts of our viewing area, as we are tracking some strong to severe thunderstorms to move through as we head into this evening, clearing out